Welcome to GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith, where strategies replace guesswork and readiness replace wishful thinking. With over 4 decades inside government systems, Dr. Lori breaks down what agencies actually evaluate: capacity, compliance, and credibility. If you're ready to compete at the federal level, not just apply, this is where clarity begins.
Hello, this is GovCon Clarity. Readiness protect what ambitious pursues. And in this series, Systems Before Scale, we're building the structure that carries you there. Everything we talked about in this series, the operating systems, the governance, the pathway, the metrics, all of it leads to one uncomfortable truth that most founders aren't ready to hear. The biggest risk in your business might be you. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because your business can't function without you. If you're the only person who knows the processes, approves the decisions, manages the relationships, checks the quality, and holds the vision, you're not leading a business, you're propping one up. And today we're going to talk about how to change that on purpose, without losing control, and without losing your identity as a founder. Welcome to GovCon Clarity. I'm Dr. Lori Smith, the founder and CEO of Archaeologent and the founder of SoNRC's Empowerment. Now, in this episode, we're talking about the things nobody warned you would be this hard, and that's reducing founder dependency. So let me connect this to where we are. In episode 7, we built rhythms, roles, and rules. In episode 8, we made governance operational. In episode 9, it gave you a readiness pathway. Episode 10 gave you metrics beyond revenue, pipeline, delivery, compliance, people. Each of those episodes was, in its own way, building an infrastructure to make this episode possible. Because you can't reduce founder dependency without having systems to hand things off to. The system has to exist before you can step back from being the system. Here's what founder dependency looks like. And I want you to be really honest about whether this, sounds familiar. You're the first person to respond to every client email. If a deliverable needs review, it sits until you get to it. Nobody on your team, if you have one, can explain your delivery process without calling you. If you take a vacation, you spend half of it working because nothing moves without you. You've hired help, but you end up redoing doing their work because it's faster than teaching them. And the phrase you say most often is, "It's just easier if I do it." If any of that resonates, I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to tell you why it matters and how to start changing it. Because when the system is a person, the system has a breaking point. Founder dependency is a readiness risk. Agencies evaluate it. It shows up as key person risk in your proposals. It shows up as single point of failure in your organizational capability. And it shows up as scalability concern when agencies assess whether you can grow the work if they give you more. And guess what? This isn't just good hygiene. It's contractual, because under FAR 15.305 and the key personnel evaluation factor, agencies evaluate not just who your key personnel are, but what happens if they leave. If you're the only name on the org chart, you're not just a dependency risk, you're a bid evaluation risk. Past performance evaluations, technical evaluations, and responsibility determinations all look at whether your business has the organizational depth to absorb the loss of a single person and still deliver. When the only answer to who else can handle this is silence, the proposal is weaker before a single technical word is read. Beyond the evaluation risk, Founder dependency is a sustainability risk. It's the direct cause of the burnout we've been talking about since episode 1. You can't build capacity guardrails, lane 3 of your readiness pathway, while you're the bottlenecks for everything in lane 1 and 2. The math doesn't work. So how do you start reducing it? I teach a 3-step framework that I call document, delegate, and disappear. And yes, that last word is intentional. So step 1, document. You cannot delegate what isn't written down. If the process lives in your head, it dies when you step away. So the first step is choosing one function, just one, that currently depends entirely on you and documenting it. Write down the steps, include the decision points, note what good looks like, and create a simple checklist or process map. And it don't have to be beautiful. It has to be clear enough that someone else could follow it without calling you. Step 2, delegate. Hand that function to someone else, a team member, a subcontractor, a virtual assistant, whoever is appropriate. And here's the crucial part. Let them do it their way within the framework you documented. Don't hover, don't redo it, don't just quickly fix it. The first few times will not be as good as if you did it yourself. And that's expected. The question isn't whether they can do it as well as you. The question is whether they do it well enough, consistently enough to free you for higher value works. Step 3, disappear. This is the hardest step. Remove yourself from the loop entirely for that function. Don't review every output. Don't CC yourself on every email. Trust the system. Check the results in your monthly governance review. But between reviews, let the system work. Disappear. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop compensating. And it means you test whether the system you built functions without you. Now, I know this is where it gets emotionally complicated, especially for us women and us veterans. Because as founders, we've been trained to equate our value with our availability. If I'm not doing it, it won't get done right. If I step back, people will think I don't care. If I'm not needed, what's my role? These are real feelings, and I want to speak to them directly. Your value as a founder is not in how much you personally produce. It's in how much your business can produce because of what you've built. The goal isn't to make yourself unnecessary. It's to make yourself available for the work only you can do. Strategy, vision, relationships, and leadership. Instead of being consumed by the work anyone could do if you let them. What I always want founders to hear is this. The fear of letting go is almost always bigger than the reality. Yes, things will be different when you step back. Some things might dip temporarily, but the alternative, you doing everything forever, isn't sustainable. And the business you're building deserves a foundation that doesn't depend on one person never getting sick, never needing a break, or never burning out. Here's your action from this episode. I want you to choose one function you currently own that could be documented and eventually delegated. Just one. This week, start the documentation. Write down the steps, the decisions, the standards. Then next week, identify who could take it on. And then the week after, hand it off with the documentation and a conversation about expectations. And then practice letting go. Your metrics from episode 10 will tell you whether the handoff is working. So if on-time delivery stays stable or improves after you delegate, the system is working. If your quality holds, the system is working. If your founder hours per week starts trending down, the system is working. Trust the numbers, not your anxiety. If you need support in structuring this transition, Archaeologist's advisory services include delegation decisions, not just deciding what to hand off, but building the documentation, training and accountability structure that makes handoffs stick. So schedule a clarity assessment through the show notes. And now in our next episode is the series finale, and it's a special one. We're doing what I call a case clinic, taking a composite scenario based on real founders I've worked with and walking through how to turn a chaotic business into a readiness engine using everything we built across both series. Now, it's where all the frameworks, tools, and the mindsets come together in one practical demonstration. You don't want to miss it. This is GovCon Clarity. Readiness protects what ambition pursues. So build what holds you, build what holds the opportunity and what holds you. Bye-bye.